Now, 3 of the 6 regions in Somalia where famine was declared earlier this year are now off the list. Seasonal rains and substantial humanitarian assistance have led Bai, Bakul and Lower Shabelle regions to be classified as one step less than severe or famine. United Nations officials also revised the number of people facing starvation in Somalia from 750,000 to 250,000. We spoke about Somalia's famine and Al-Shabaab militants with Said Samatar, Professor of African History at Rutgers University in New Jersey.
This is refreshing and to be welcomed, and one hopes that that kind of lowering of threatening death by hunger extends to the other refugee camps and other regions. From what I understand, the issue is not that they are out of danger. The issue is that the daily death by starvation has gone down.
Moving on to the also more pressing issue, that is the activities of Al-Shabaab. A lot of reports are alluding to the fact that Al-Shabaab has been diminished in terms of its impact in Somalia because of the activities of AMISOM and also the Kenyan troops. Do you agree that Al-Shabaab is less potent at this point?
It is less potent, and to some extent it is on the run. As you know, they have been run out of the capital city of Mogadishu, and they are under siege in the coastal towns of Marka and Brawa. The problem is, though, if what we are hearing about Kenyan intervention on the Somali border in the southwest and the potential Ethiopian intervention in the central portions of Somalia, if these 2 foreign governments get involved, I think that would extend a heaven-given lifeline to the restoration of Al-Shabaab as a viable organization once again. I recently wrote a piece I titled, "America, Pray, Leave Somalia to its own devices." I am now modifying that title to say, Kenya and Ethiopia, please leave Somalia to its own devices, because if you intervene, you will give a new life to Al-Shabaab.
Now, some would question that, Professor Samatar. The interim government has been said to be weak, that it cannot handle Somalia on its own. So would that not exacerbate the problem in Somalia as opposed to fixing it?
That view, like everything else, Somali, is ambiguous and complicated. For example, President Sheikh Ahmed Sharif is against intervention by Kenya. He said it publicly. But the Prime Minister is supporting intervention. So you have got a situation in which the President of the country and his Prime Minister do not even agree on what should be done about the search for peace in Somalia.
What is your opinion of the way you think President Sharif can move Somalia out of the crisis it is in?
Well, I pity him. He's faced with Somalis, and Somalis are a very difficult people. I think, first of all, to blunt this impending intervention by Kenya and Ethiopia, the second move he can take is to genuinely come to an agreement with his Prime Minister, who is now leading a different agenda from the president's. Thirdly, to try to tame this wild so-called parliament led by Sharif Sakin. If he makes those 3 moves and simultaneously begins to make overtures to Puntland, some sort of solution might be obtainable.
the role of the international community. Is it benefiting Somalia in a way that you feel is going to help the country, or are there some discrepancies that you feel are hindering the progress?
The international community is the devil in the detail. On the one hand, they have the resources, they have the power of world diplomacy. On the other hand, some of the people, and I don't want to name names, these so-called representatives from the United Nations are not really that interested in creating and negotiating space for the Somalis as they are interested in advancing some personal agendas.
What are your thoughts on some of the ideas that are being pushed to maybe engage Al-Shabaab in whatever solutions are being proposed for Somalia?
I think that's to the good. I think actually you have opened up an excellent avenue of hope. I do not think that you can bring about a resolution to the Somali problem without including Al-Shabaab.
Said Samatar is a professor of African Studies at Rutgers University and also the managing editor of the Horn of Africa Journal.